I'll go through quite briefly, quickly, so that we have more time for the question and answer. So everyone, my name is Sean Dillon. I'm with Alexander College, which is a college based in Vancouver, British Columbia. I guess everybody knows where Vancouver is, and we know what Vancouver is, why everybody wants to come to Vancouver. Beautiful, it's safe, it's multicultural, fantastic healthcare, and the education, phenomenal. Very good education system, comparable to some of the best education in the world. And Alexander College has two locations. So one is in a city called Burnaby, which is kind of across the street from the biggest shopping center in British Columbia. It's called Metrotown Shopping Center. A lot of our students actually work in that shopping center. It's shoe stores, grocery stores, some restaurants, clothing stores. So a lot of them work in that shopping center. The second campus is in downtown Vancouver, which is kind of on a street where there's Simon Fraser University, there's Alexander Academy, there's a bunch of schools around there. And it's about a 2 or 3 minute walk from the we call the SkyTrain station, our waterfront station, our transit station. The location between the two campuses, about 20-25 minutes by public transit. So when a student applies, sometimes they always go, oh, I only want to go to Vancouver campus, or I only want to go to Burnaby campus. It doesn't really matter. Actually, they're only about 20-25 minutes away. And sometimes students take classes in both campuses. They'll have one class in Burnaby in the morning, one class in Vancouver in the afternoon, and back to Burnaby again. So in terms of distance, that's what it is. It's very close to each other. In general, we get about, actually it's more than 2,500 right now. So every semester we start about with 2,500 students. So right now, Southeast Asia, meaning Malaysia, Singapore, Thailand, Philippines, Indonesia, those part of the world. East Asia would be South Korea, Japan, that part of the world. And from India right now, we must be at about 1,300, about 50% of the students, almost 50% of the students would be from India, predominantly Punjab. So they come from all over the world. We get students from about 40 odd different countries. The reason people choose Alexander College is especially for students who are thinking of going to university. To get into a university is pretty tough. The requirements, your grade 12 GPA, your math and science requirements, your IELTS requirements. That's the reason sometimes students can't get into university. Or they're not ready for university right from high school to going to UBC or Simon Fraser University. Or the cost in terms of tuition fees. That's why students go to college. There's a system called BC transfer system where courses can transfer from one college to another university, especially within British Columbia. It's for all the public universities. Alexander College is a private college, but we are part of the BC transfer system, so all our courses transfer back and forth. We are a private college, but we are a designated learning institute. That means we have a DLI number. And also the students who finish not the university transfer, but the associate degree, they're eligible for the post-graduation work permit. So we have very small class sizes, about 35 students. Some classes are only 22 students. When you go to a university, you're looking at between, especially first year university, you're looking at about 300 to 400, 500 students in your lecture theatre. Many students kind of get lost in that. So it kind of works to go to a smaller college. The two main programs that we offer are the University Transfer Program and the Associate Degree Program. But what's the difference? The University Transfer Program is kind of what I mentioned about the BC transfer. Students come into Alexander College, depending on what faculty, what program, what bachelor's degree, which university, they'll do between 1 to 2 years at Alexander College, and they'll finish the degree at the university. So it could be 1+3 or 2+2, depending on which one you do. So what that means is the bachelor's degree is 4 years, but you'll do 1 at Alexander College, 3 at the university, or 2 at Alexander College and 2 at the university. Some of the universities and colleges that the Alexander College courses will transfer to, everyone in BC. So whether it's University of British Columbia, Simon Fraser University, Queensland, UFB, Thompson Rivers, Vancouver Island, any one of this. So how it works is there's a website called BC Transfer Guide. If you go into that website, you can punch in anything, say Alexander College, Math 100, UBC. It'll tell you how it transfers to UBC, how many credits you get, and what would it transfer as. So everything is transparent, everything is available for anybody. This is public information. So for example, this is how it will look like if you go into that BC transfer system, into that website. You punch in Alexander College Economics 103, that's microeconomics. How does it transfer to Simon Fraser University or UBC? It shows you right there. To SFU, it'll transfer as Economics 103, 3 credits. To UBC as Economics 101, 3 credits, and so on and so forth. Every course is listed there. And the transfer system, this is how it works. Depending on what you want to get into, somebody wants to do the Bachelor of Commerce. To get into UBC directly from Punjab, from high school, you most probably need, I'm guessing, 90, 95, 98% from your grade 12, and your IELTS has to be 6.5 or 7 to get into UBC. That's my guess for the Sauder School of Business. To get into Alexander College, much easier. You come in, you do these 8 to 11 courses, you get each course has to score more than 65%. You get the overall GPA and you can apply to the university. There's an interview they do, you pass that and you get into second year at UBC. That's the beauty of the university transfer program. So same thing, somebody wants to transfer to psychology in Simon Fraser University. This is how the courses will transfer over. Psychology 101, Psychology 100 in SFU. And kind of shows you need a GPA of 3.3 or higher, so which is a B plus A minus overall, and you will get into the faculty.
78%.
Hey?
78%. Yeah, the B minus. Yeah.
That's my colleague Manasara. He's actually joining me, so he's helping me out too. So these are the kind of courses you will do for SFU, for the BD School of Business. That's how I'm not going to go too much into it, but engineering, for example, lots of students want to do engineering, but to get into it is very tough, especially if you are I think it's called medical student in India. So that means you only do biochemistry and physics, don't do any math. You can't get into engineering. You get into Alexander College, you do all the first year math courses, the Math 100, 101, all those courses. You finish them and you can get into second year at UBC, continue with the engineering. Same thing, that's for University of Victoria. This is commerce if somebody wants to get into, depending 1 year or 2 years at Alexander College. I'll send this out to your counselors and this information will be available with them. You can speak to them. So this is one of the easiest transfer for engineering is into the University of Victoria. Whether somebody wants to do biomedical, civil, computer, software, any engineering. You do the prerequisite courses at Alexander College, GPA of 2.33, which is very, very low, a C+, and you're guaranteed admission into University of Victoria in the engineering. And you do 1 year at Alexander College, 3 years at University of Victoria. Easier to get in, easier to get the GPA, easier to get to the university, easy to study, and cheaper. You save a lot of money on the first year. So that transfer is into British Columbia. Within BC, you can transfer to just about any college or university. We have lots of students who want to go to outside of BC. Outside of BC, there's no guarantee for the transfer. A lot of universities do recognize them, but we always say we can't guarantee it. But University of Toronto gets lots of students from Alexander College. They actually list it on their website, the courses that they recognize from Alexander College. So if somebody says, I want to come to Alexander College for a year or 2 years and then to U of T, the courses will be listed there. So these are the reasons why somebody comes to a college for the university transfer. Usually it's the grades, the IELTS, or the money. And once you do between 24, which is 8 courses to about that 20 courses at the college, your high school score is not taken into consideration anymore. They look at your college GPA and your IELTS is not in consideration anymore because you will do two English courses at the college. So when you apply from the college to the university, it's only everything you have done at the college. They do not look into your high school GPA and your IELTS score anymore. So that's what it helps you meet is the English requirement. Tuition fees. That's the reason why students come into Alexander College if somebody wants to do a university transfer. How it works is we go by per credit. So Alexander College is $580 per credit. Each course is 3 credits. Each lab course, biochemistry, physics, computer science, is 4 credits. So if you are talking about psychology 101 or sociology 100 or math 100, it's 3 credits. So the course will cost you $1,740. That's how the money is calculated. That same course at Simon Fraser University is going to cost you almost $3,000. At UBC, it's going to be about $3,900 for one course. That's the difference. That's how much money you save. And same thing, you can meet the math requirements if you have not done math, but you want to do engineering. So there's always a possibility. We do get students from some parts of the world who actually, even from Punjab, they have done English and Hindi and Punjabi and just some arts courses. They come into Alexander College, they do their math, chemistry, physics, and they can continue to UBC or SFU engineering. So the possibilities are always there. The number of students that transfer, basically, this is slightly old data, but kind of shows you that the possibility of a lot of our students from China, South Korea, Vietnam, Africa, some parts of this world, Russia, they do the university transfer. The other degree we have is the associate degree, which is kind of more popular with Philippines, Africa, India, some parts of China. So this is more popular. So what an associate degree is, it's a first 2 years of your bachelor's degree. But when you complete year 1 and year 2, you do a bunch of about 20 or 21 courses, you actually get an associate degree. And it's available in arts and science. And the Associate of Arts has concentrations in business, psychology, and economics, depending on your interests or what you're looking at your future. So the way it works is, when you do an associate degree, so it's about a 2-year program. Some students finish it in about a year and a half, a year and 8 months. Some take 2.5 years, 3 years. You kind of select your own courses, whether you want to do 3 a semester, 4 a semester, 5 a semester, that's up to you. And while doing the associate degree, you can work off campus 20 hours a week as a full-time student. Full-time student in a regular semester, 3 courses. So you're doing 3 courses in school and you can work 20 hours off campus. When you finish the associate degree, any one of these, when you finish this, you're eligible for a 3-year post-graduation work permit. What it means, it's an open work permit. You can go work anywhere in Canada for 3 years. So we have the different types of associate degrees depending on whether you're doing the arts or the science. That's the kind of courses you will do. Some will be focused more on the humanities and the social sciences. Some will focus more, this will be more on economics and commerce. Depending on which associate degrees, which is your strength, which is your interest, that you will pick the one. So then some others are focused on psychology and the sciences, a little bit of math. Doesn't matter which associate degree it is, you have to do 2 courses in English and you have to do 3 courses in sort of sciences. That means either 1 math or computer science and 2 of the biochemistry or physics, and then you get 1 optional, could be another computer science, could be a math, could be a biochemistry, physics. Once you do those 5 courses, then it's your interest, the business, the commerce, the psychology, the economics. That's what you will pick. That's how you'll pick the courses. That's basically how it is. For sciences, there's a lot of math and a lot of biochemistry and physics. So that's why when students want to apply for Associate of Science, we always require there's a math requirement for them. And to apply to Alexander College, basically what we need is your IELTS, because we are part of the SDS system, which is the Student Direct Stream system, which is what the embassies in Canada would expedite processing if your IELTS is minimum 6 overall and no modules under 6. That means it's 6 across the board. If you do a PTE, it's minimum 60 overall, no modules under 60. And right now for this season, we're also accepting Duolingo because of the IELTS center problems, and it's minimum 105. And the grade 12 requirement for India is a minimum 65%. The way we count 65% is there's different school boards. There's the CBSE, the Punjab board, and there's a bunch of different boards. So some of them sometimes have a total at the bottom. We take that total, we don't look at what's available. Some of them have no total at the end, we will add everything up. So either way, As long as you get 65%, you're eligible to apply to Alexander College. We have 3 regular semesters and 1 summer intensive semester. What that means is we have a fall semester. So we have 4 semesters, but we take international students for overseas international students for 3 semesters. The fall semester is September to December. It's a full semester. The winter semester is from January to April, a full semester also. Then we have a spring semester that's going on right now. Either it's end of April, first week of May, until about middle of July. That's our spring semester. And then we have a summer intensive semester, which is second week of July till end of August. That semester, that 2 months, students can take that semester off and work full time, which is 40 hours a week, or they can attend the classes and do 2 courses at that time to be a full-time student. So with 3 regular semesters and 1 part-time semester, even if you do the basic, you can do 3, 6, 9, 11 courses a year. You only need 20 to graduate. So that's what I was saying, that you don't need 2 years. And for somebody who wants to study, who just wants to go to school and work part-time, they can finish in less than 2 years. Doesn't matter if you finish in less than 2 years or take longer than 2 years, because it's a 2-year program. The post-graduation work permit is for 3 years. And the kind of support we have at Alexander College is a lot of support, the same as many other places, but we have our writing and learning center. What that is free tutors available, subject specialists. You attend a lecture in economics, you sit in class, well, right now it's online, so you're sitting there, you listen to the lecture and kind of lost, don't understand certain terms. After the lecture, you can go and see these people. There's somebody sitting who knows about economics, who can help you with English, whether you didn't understand the class, not sure about the homework, how to write the paper, how to do my research. These are free tutors available every day from about 8:30, 9 a.m. to about 6 or 7 p.m. every day. And so they're there and you can go see them every day. It doesn't matter. For short visits, you can just walk in. For long visits, you can make appointments. And students who use the supports that's available by the institutions, it doesn't matter whether it's Alexander College or any institution, when you use the support that's available, you tend to do very well and you kind of go through school quite easily. If you do not take the resources or use the help, then it's kind of difficult for the student to in the future. So that's what they do. They provide free one-on-one tutoring in whatever subject, or writing or humanities or math, sciences, anything it is. Awesome. I think I did in perfect time, and let's do that. Now, if I'm not sure how Amandeep wants to do the questions, but I'm available for that right now.
Okay. So I can see the first student with the name of Simran, and she's from our Jalandhar office.
Okay.
Simran, you can unmute and you can ask your question.
Yes. Hi, Ankit.
Sir, actually there's a student of Navdeep. He wants to have a talk regarding that student. The student has been unable to join today.
Okay. Sir, Ankit is our branch head for Bathinda office and Navdeep is one of our senior counselors. Okay. Navdeep, please go ahead, ask your question about the student.
Yes, sir. Actually, sir, my student is having 75%, but his marks in mathematics are 45, and he's having overall score of 6.5, no less than 6. Can we share that application for Associate of Science, or
no, not for the Associate of Science. So I know he's done the sciences, but to apply for the Associate of Science, my registrar requires the grade 12 math to be 72%. So in his case, it seems like his math is pretty decent. Yes, he's got 45%, which is not bad. So what he could do is, there's 2 options. Either you apply for the university transfer program, because you have to show continuation of study. This is more for your SOP, right? For your visa application. Or you apply for the Associate of Arts Psychology. When you apply for the Associate of Arts Psychology, you do tend to get that work permit, which most students want that. So you apply for the Associate of Arts Psychology. The student arrives in Canada or he starts his online classes. There's a math placement test. You know how you do your English IELTS to get your level of English? The same thing, you can do a math placement test. It's free once you are a student of Alexander College. You do that math placement test. Depending on your math score, some students do very well. If you do a certain level, you can switch to Associate of Science right away and start doing all the math courses. Let's say you do not do too well, you do mediocre. there's maybe one extra math course you have to do, maybe math 100 or math 104, depending on where your level stands. You do that one course and you can switch to the program. Let's say you don't do very well or your math is lousy. That's okay. There's a math 099. It's called pre-calculus, or no, it's less than pre-calculus. It's like preparing for grade 12 math. You do the math 019, 099 for one semester. You pass that program. Next semester you do math 100 and you can switch to Associate of Science. So it's not a problem. You can always switch the program. It's just you have to meet the requirements. Every other program is okay, whether it's university transfer or the Associate of Arts Psychology or the Associate of Arts, except for the Associate of Science. We require 2 grade 12 sciences plus grade 12 math with 72%.
All right, sir. And sir, is the college going to have classes on campus or online for September?
No. So for next intake for fall 2020, which starts in September, it's all online, 100% online. So our government has not. We are still in phase 2. We are not allowed to get into big gatherings yet. Maximum is, I think it's at 10 or 6 or something like that. So some elementary schools and high schools have opened up, but colleges and universities are not opening up until next year. So they're all online. Yeah.
All right, sir. Thank you, sir.
No problem.
So my name is Jashan.
Yes, hi.
Jashan,
Yes, sir. I want to ask that sir said that to get a degree they have to complete 20 courses.
For the associate degree, yes.
Yes, I want to ask that it is not compulsory to complete 24 courses.
What do you mean 24 courses?
I have my courses, sir, Associate Degree of Arts. In this course, there are 24 courses.
No, it's 20. For Associate of Arts, it's 20.
Okay, sir.
20 courses you do. Basically, it's 2 English, 3 sciences, which is either computer science or math, 1 biochemistry or physics, and another math or computer science, biochemistry, whichever your favorite is. So those 5, 2 English, 3 sciences, and the rest will be humanities and social sciences. You get to pick from a bunch of different courses: sociology, psychology, history, English, philosophy. There's many choices. So you basically just do those courses. Let's say you put a bunch of boxes. This box you need to do 2 out of 5. This one you need to do 2 out of 8. You select which ones you want to do. Couple of first year, a bunch of second year courses. Usually it's about 6 second year courses, and you graduate with the associate degree.
So I have to complete 20 courses.
20 courses, yeah. Yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yep, no problem.
Jashan, can you share your full name with me?
Sir, Jashan Veer Singh.
Jashan Veer Singh. And you're connected with which branch of Pyramid?
Ludhiana, sir. My counselor name is Saloni.
Okay. And you are already registered with the college, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you got your offer letter?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's great. Okay, do you have any other question?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Okay. Sir, I can see another student with the name of Gulshan Z.
Yeah, for sure.
You can unmute and ask your question.
Hi, sir.
Oh, hello, Gulshan ji. Hi.
Hi. Sir, I have took the subject of Association of Art and Psychology.
Okay.
And I want to come to know about that how much the total courses are under in it.
It's 20 courses also for Associate of Arts Psychology.
Okay.
So the Associate of... Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. After this, the further subjects I took in the university.
So, what do you mean? After the college, what subjects you will take at the university? Yeah. So are you planning to do your psychology degree?
Yeah.
Oh, you are? So you want to do the 4 years bachelor program?
No, I have actually association of diploma 2 year. After this, I want to come to know about it.
So what do you mean? What after the Associate of Arts Psychology? What do you do after that? You mean? Well, that's kind of your option, right? So your options are basically you have the associate degree, which is the first 2 years of the university. Generally, most students who do the associate degree after 2 years, they go for the 3-year post-graduation work permit. A lot of students from Punjab, the Punjabis, I'm a Punjabi too, I understand. We just come to Canada, we want to do that basic education, get the work permit, and try to get the PR. That's what they do. So they do the associate degree for 2 years. They get the 3-year post-graduation work permit, which makes them eligible for 3 years to work. They find some place to get a job with a certain position based on your education, your IELTS score, and your work experience. You become eligible for permanent residency. You might become eligible. Once you get your permanent residency, now you can go back to the university because now you're a Canadian permanent resident. Your tuition fee is much cheaper, less than half. So you've done first 2 years of university. You can go back to the university. Now you can go to University of British Columbia or Simon Fraser University or Counselling College and do another 2 or 2.5 years and get your bachelor's degree. Or what a lot of the Punjabi girls from India, from Philippines, from Africa, they do after they get the permanent residency, they do that 8-month or 1-year diploma in dental hygienist or medical office assistant, do that 1-year program, which is on a Canadian tuition fees, and then they get a job paying them $20, $25, $30 an hour. So the potential is there. If you just want to study straight for the bachelor's degree, then you switch to the university transfer program. You come into Alexander College, you do year 1, year 2, and you go to the university, finish year 3 and 4. Then you apply for your work permit for 3 years, and then you continue the process.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So basically, depending which path you want to use, whether you want to do like you say, the diploma, the associate degree, post-graduation work permit, PR if possible, and then continue, or university transfer, the university 2 years, and then the post-graduation work permit.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thanks. I didn't realize it. Gulshan, so you have already applied at the college, right?
Yes, sir.
And you have got your offer?
Yes, sir. I have got.
And have you made the fee payment as well, or you are still to make it?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's
I have
great.
paid.
That's great. So you're going for September intake?
Yes, sir.
All right, that's awesome. So you might have heard, sir, the September would be online, right?
All the courses will be conducted online.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, sir. Can I defer?
I mean, that's no problem. So your basically your options are if you're able to travel to Canada, because I keep hearing Air India is having flights, that certain airlines might start having flights. If you are able to travel, even if you come into Canada, you have to self-quarantine for 14 days. So you do the quarantine, and then the classes are still online, whether you're in Canada or if you stay at home and you can study from home September to December and come here. Or if you want to, you can defer until January. That's no problem at all. That's your choice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
And to defer, all you do is you can send me an email or get your counselor to send an email with your name, student number, and just saying, hey, I would like to defer to winter 2020 or January 2021, and we can do that.
Okay.
But Sean, sir, if you allow me to add something here.
Yeah.
So, but like Gulshan, if you attend the online courses in September as well, I'm sure you must be aware of the policy by the Canadian government that your post-study work permit would not be impacted. And also, if you travel in September, there is a great possibility that you would be, in a quarantine mode for 14-15 days. Right, sir? It would be around 14 days, right?
14 days. If you come in from outside of Canada, you are 14 days quarantine. Yes.
Yeah, and you have to take care of yourself during those 14 days. So if you are in online classes mode, why I'm saying this is because you have already got the offer, paid the fee. September intake is coming online. You will be doing it from your home. You will be saving a lot of money at that time as well, because you're back home. You're not in Canada. You're not spending that much of amount because a lot of aspects would be involved. So do think about it before, we are completely comfortable as an agency, and obviously Mr. Sean as a college with your decision. But right now you have done everything, and like you are attending this Zoom session, same way you would be doing the classes.
Basically, yes. Yeah.
So Aman, can I add something?
Sure. So sir, Mr. Sunil is here with us. He is one of the senior member of Pyramid. He is one of our sales head for the organization.
Okay. Hi, Sunil.
Hi, Sean. How are you?
I'm very well. How are you doing?
Good to see you.
Yeah, very good to see you too.
Yeah. Okay, so what I was saying, if student is opting for online classes, and if he can take one semester or a 50% syllabus in India, that would not impact their post-study work. That is what the policy says.
Yeah, no, it would not affect. Yeah, so basically, but 50% of their study would be almost 1 year, right? That's 10 courses because it's 20 courses for the program. So most probably, most students will just be doing 3 courses in September. By January, I'm guessing we better be flying, or else I think the world is in trouble. So by January, they should all be able to come into Canada. And in fact, then at that time, depending, we don't know. If the government continues with the announcement, they still could do online classes from home. They can do up to 50% of their study from overseas, from online. And it doesn't affect the work permit at all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you so very much for that.
No problem.
This actually brings in one question in my mind. Maybe it's not a very intelligent question to ask. So when we say 50% of the classes would be online and a student can do it from their home country, would it be like it's let's say we have a 2 years Associate of Arts program. So would it be a mandatory affair that a student has to complete a year in India and then second in Canada, or a semester, let's say September to January he did it in India and then January he can fly out to Canada?
Oh yeah, I mean that's the whole thing. So they say up to 50%.
Right.
So because some students in India, in Punjab, are already taking classes right now online from May to August, May to July. So we already have students doing online. September will be their second semester in India online.
Right.
By the time they arrive in January, they will already have done 6 courses. So that's why the government made the announcement of the 50%. Associate degree, it's about 20 courses. There's some diplomas that are shorter programs, so they might be already at 50%. That's why the government made that announcement.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Right, sir. So Gulshan, can you specify which branch of pyramid are you connected with?
Sir, I connected from the Jalandhar pyramid.
And can you tell me who's your counselor?
Sahil sir.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, dear. I hope there's no other query. Do you have any other question?
There's somebody has a hand up right there.
Yeah. That's just a second. Yeah, dear, go ahead. You can ask.
So my question is that sir said that 14-day quarantine when I arrive in September.
Yeah.
Sir, that quarantine is on airport or where I am going to live with my relatives?
Well, you cannot live with your relatives, right? You have to quarantine unless your relatives have a separate room for you. You're not supposed to mingle. You're supposed to be quarantined,
Yes, 14-day quarantine in my relative's house.
Yeah, but if your relatives have a separate room for you, the police and the officers do come and check on people, so you don't want to be in trouble. Quarantine means you on your own, not mingling with any, because you coming in, because of this whole coronavirus, they want you to be separated. That's why we're telling students, if you can't travel, better not to, because you can get turned away at the airport. If you arrive, you have a study permit, you arrive in Vancouver International Airport. The officer asks you, so how are you going to quarantine? Oh, I'm just going to stay at my relative's house. Not good enough for them. You have to have a written plan. How are you going to take care of yourself for 14 days? Your food, your grocery, where you're staying, money and everything. Provided you have that, they will let you into the country.
And sir, my another question is that when I arrive in September, that is my first semester.
Yep.
I didn't join online classes from India. So September is my first semester.
So yeah, even if you arrive in Canada, let's say you arrive in August or July or September, whenever you arrive, the classes start on September 8th. You arrive in Canada, you have to do the quarantine. Whether it's during the quarantine or after the quarantine, you will contact us by email and we will start the process. Your classes will still be online. Whether you are in Canada or in India, it doesn't matter, classes are online.
So I have another gentleman with me, sir. His name is Rajan.
Okay.
Rajan, I have unmuted you. You can ask your question.
Hi, Sean, sir. How are you?
I'm very well, Rajan. How are you doing?
Great, sir. Great. First of all, thank you so much for this wonderful presentation.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Yeah, thank you.
I do have a query regarding the minimum core percentage required. As you earlier mentioned that we require 65%, but what will be the core percentage required for getting enrolled into Alexander College?
So I don't do the core percentage because we kind of look at it differently. We want to give everybody a chance. So if we start looking at core percentage, there are some students who have done, just to give you an example, would be, English, Punjabi, Hindi, and tabla and dancing. Let's say they've done 5 classes. There's no core courses, right? How do you calculate? But if they do those 5 courses and they have a GPA of 65%, we will accept those students, because we know in high school, everybody just sometimes does, we were all young ones, right? In high school, we all do courses and then we go, okay, I want to make something, I want to do something. So as long as the overall is 65%, we will take them. It doesn't matter. We don't look at the core courses. So I can't remember which board, one of them, the CBSE or the Punjab School Board, one of them has total at the bottom, usually out of 450 marks. So whatever that percent, let's say 327 divided by 450, if it's 65%, I'll take you. The other ones are usually, they've done 5 courses, 100 marks each. So whatever that total is divided by 500, that's the 65% I'm looking for.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you so much.
And if you're not sure, easiest thing is just either send it to your counselor or just send me an email with your transcript. Say, hey Sean, can you just have a quick look? Is this student eligible? That's straightforward.
Right.
I can do that, no problem.
And earlier you have mentioned about the math placement test.
Yes.
Elaborate that how it works and what will be the additional fee for that math placement test.
So there's no additional fee for the math placement test. It's for students who have already applied and been accepted by Alexander College, but they want to do some math courses, or let's say they're doing Associate of Arts in Business, they have to do Math 104. But to do Math 104, there's certain prerequisites, which is Math 100, which is pre-calculus. But let's say your grade 12 score is 38. You might not be able to do Math 100. So you do the math placement test. Depending on that score, you might be able to skip certain levels and go to that level. It's just like doing your IELTS. If you have 5.5 in writing, you might have to do some English for academic purposes courses in some universities. To skip that, your higher score will help. That's the same way for math placement. Once the student has been accepted, they can book it online through their portal, they do the math placement test, and then it just kind of moves them up to where they need to be. Generally, I see students who, once they, a lot of students want to apply for the Associate of Science and do the sciences. Once they arrive in Canada, they kind of generally just want to switch to, it doesn't matter you do unless you have a future plan. I want to go into medicine or nursing or something, they might do that. Otherwise, they just go, I'm going to switch to Associate of Arts in Psychology or Associate of Arts or something, just quickest, easiest program to finish the whole thing.
Right. So I do have another question regarding the conditional offer letters. Are we offering the conditional offer letters without the IELTS and the final results?
So I don't do conditional. So what I do is I do accept the grade. Let's say some of the students are not receiving their grade 12 right now. As long as they can show me something, I've received a few where they show they're attending school, like a letter or saying prospective courses or something, that these are the courses they are doing, and they send me their grade 10 transcript. And if they can send me their online score, IELTS score results, or they get the online results, but they also get another letter from IELTS Center that shows their TRF number. If I get those, I'll give them admission. But before they can register for courses, I will require their grade 12 transcript and I'll require the IELTS TRF. But they also would need that for the visa application, so kind of works out pretty well. So to get the admission portion, yes, I can take the grade 10 plus saying what courses they are doing, plus the online IELTS results. So what I've started telling students is go do the Duolingo if you want to. I accept Duolingo with the score of 105 will place you same level as the IELTS overall 6 and no modules under 6.
I think Sean is the testing certificate that shows all the subjects, the certificate, like the sheet, that you get, which will be like listed all your courses. And that's more like valid. It's from the main government, and it has your roll number and ID number in it.
Yeah, so that's what we need. Yeah. Just shows us the course. You're doing something. You're in grade 12.
In the grade 12. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rajan. Thank you so much for your point, and thank you so much for your important queries. So next I have a student named Baban Singh. Baban, I have unmuted you. If you have any query, please go ahead and ask.
Sir, I do have a question.
Yeah, Rajan, please go ahead. You can ask.
Sir, as you earlier mentioned about the psychology course, I just want to reconfirm that a student from arts background can apply for the psychology course.
Yes, for any of the other programs, anybody from any background can apply for that. But you guys know better that how you have to fit the grade 12 with what you apply just for your study visa application. But in terms of this, the college accepting the student, there's no issues at all in any of the other programs. It's only the Associate of Science that we look for the 2 sciences and 1 math. So let's say this, even a student who has done biochemistry, physics, but has no math, they usually apply for the Associate of Arts in Psychology, and touch wood, the visa is no problem, and they come in and they do. Once they arrive in Canada, they always pop in and come and see me. Then they'll go, I want to switch to Associate of Science. Then I tell them, okay, this is the math course you have to do, or write the math placement test. They write the math placement test. If it's decent, they might continue the program. If they think, math is too hard for me, they'll just continue with Associate of Arts in Psychology. End of the day, they're looking for the post-graduation work permit. Doesn't matter which one you go with.
Right.
Hi, sir.
Yes, hello.
Yeah, Arshpreet, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Actually, sir, I want to know about the subjects of my degree. Like I have registered in the Associate of Arts and Psychology subject.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes,
so
sir. And I want to know that which subjects are optional.
There's for any of the associate degree. Actually, there's a lot of optional subjects. So some of the core subjects that you would have to do are 2 English courses and 3 kind of sciences, which would be, they kind of go into 3 categories. The first one will be something between computer science and math. If you like math, you can do 1 math course. If you like computer science, you do that. And then there'll be 1 biochemistry or physics, 100 level, which is very equivalent to almost grade 12. Then a third one will be anything amongst math, computer science, biochemistry or physics. So you've done 2 English courses, 3 science courses, that's 5. The other 15 would be you require 6 psychology courses. So 2 100 level, the Psych 101, Psych 102 and 200 level. And then a bunch of humanities, social sciences and electives, which you can choose from: history, Asia studies, economics, sociology, philosophy. You just pick and choose what your interest is, and that's how you finish the program. You have to do 20 courses, and you do those 20 courses, you get the Associate of Arts in Psychology.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
There are stages wherein the offer is sent to the student only. Means it's not always, but sometimes what happens is the student receives the offer, but we are not in any, because we had applied for pyramid eServices. Is it possible for us to be kept in CC for the same?
When they receive the offer letter?
Yes.
Offers, yeah.
Yeah. So about a year, maybe 2 or 3 semesters ago, maybe about a year ago, we used to send it to the agencies, the offer letter, because that was the communication and everything. Some problems arose, then there's, hey, you understand how business is in Punjab. A lot of problems arose. Everything came back to me. I'm the one who goes to Punjab and meet these students and parents and agencies, and now everything was coming back to me. And then there's always negative feedback. Sir, you said application fee was this much, you said this, now you want more money. I go, I don't want any more money. It has nothing to do with me. But so there were issues. And my directors, my board of directors, they are all about the student. They do not care about anything else. They're all about the student and their experience. They want to make the students have a good experience. And they're coming from anywhere. We get students from all over the world, from very small villages and cities. So they're spending a lot of money. They're taking loans. They come into Canada. We don't want them to start on a negative experience. So that's the whole reason. So they go, let's switch it. They can go to an agency, they can go to anybody. But let's say, after your student, that generally for Alexander College, we turn around in about 2 to 5 days. We turn around, we admit the student and we send out the offer letter and the invoice. let's say your team has sent in an application, it's been 3 or 4 days, 5 days, they're not sure if the student has heard back from us, you can always contact me, say, hey, this student applied with this student number, we have not heard back. Very easy for me to just take that offer letter and the invoice and send it in the email and send it back to you. Because every copy comes to me too, of every application. I have every offer letter on file, yeah.
Just to add on,
Why?
Yeah, please, Pooja ma'am, go ahead.
Why I asked this question? Why I asked this question is because we are lately facing, means when I joined Pyramid, there were few cases wherein the student did not turn up with the offer and we contacted you. But it was too late because we were not aware that at the time the processes of admission were also not streamlined, I can say that. But lately also one incident occurred wherein the student was replied because we asked you about the offer. And the next day you send the offer to the student email ID. But for the week's time, we were not aware of it. And we sent again an email to you.
Yeah.
So if it is possible, if you can keep it in exceptions, circumstances for the Pyramid, and you can send it just to me, I can share the email ID, because what happens in my in Pyramid eServices is we have an offer, we send the offer to the team, and then they call the student for the same.
Yeah.
But
no,
in
I understand.
all situations, because the offer has the validity for the fees payment, and in case if we don't hear it at the time when it has to be paid, then we again come back to you for extension.
Yeah.
So we don't want to.
I understand that, but it's just that because this is an automated process, so I can't just pick and choose where the thing goes. I think might be the easiest would be your team could, maybe if they want to, maybe not every application per se, but what they could do is maybe end of the week, they could just send me an email. Hey, we sent you these 5 or 8 or 10 applications. Could you send us the offer letter? Very easy for me to just open up my emails and copy and paste all there and just send it to you. That's not a big process for me. It's copy and paste, right? So I could always do that, but I might need the reminder, or instead of, because you got to remember, I'm getting 1,000 over applications every semester. I can't keep track of what's going on. So yeah.
Yeah. True. Sorry, Aman was cutting you down because I thought I missed the point.
No, but I to an extent concur with Dr. Pooja. Like what her intention to put across here is that is, like you just said, that how Punjab is. So that way we, if we are not aware the student has got the offer, it puts us also in a negative light, because probably you have sent us 15 offers and we are not aware of 10 out of that. And we are not able to make the payments for those 10 students, and that puts us also in the negative light. But I believe Dr. Pooja, like Mr. Sean has said, that you can send an email to him about those 10 particular students or 5 students whose offer is awaited according to your records, and then he can confirm you that. Sorry.
In this situation, we did send the email to Alexander College, but herein what happened is, we received an email back from the Alexander College as well that they will soon contact us for the offer. But the next day the offer was released to the student. But the student was not aware that the offer has come to them. So the student was contacted the branch again and again, but the offer was in the student email ID.
Oh. So what happens is, I'll explain it a bit if you allow me, Pooja ma'am.
Yep, please.
Working with admissions team, I have seen that not if there are 100 cases, not 100 cases, but probably 10 to 15 times what happens is that the student keep on barging our office saying that I have not got the offer, and the offer is actually in his email account. So what we do is, Dr. Pooja makes the student, or our sales heads make the student sit there and tell them, open your email ID, right? Check it. Please type Alexander College in the search box.
I will add something more. The email ID which the student had was wrong. So it was more complicated.
Yeah, those things happen. It happens all the time. So that's, we understand, these things happen. So might be easier if maybe you can do it by per branch or something. So let's say your Ludhiana branch sends me, they've got that 8 or 10 applications they started for the week. whatever day you pick Tuesday or maybe Friday morning, you go, okay, hey, we sent these 8 applications. You have no idea if any of them received the offer, but you could just send me a quick email saying, we sent you these 8 applications, let me get the offer. I don't have to send you the invoices, you know what that is, but I can just copy and paste the admission letter. I can just send that. I can send all 8 to you. So every application you have,
that will be
you
great,
will have
actually.
it on file. Yeah.
I think that can be done. Because with my personal experience, I know Mr. Sean is pretty quick on emails.
Oh, I try to.
Get in the word.
You have to. That's how you stay in business, right?
That's true. So, Pooja ma'am, I hope that helps you out. Actually, there is one student.
Yes, true.
That's great. So there is one student with the name of Harry Gill. He's unable to speak because of, like I said, because it's raining over here pretty hard.
Yeah.
So the student has, just a sec. So he has put in a question to me. So the student got the visa before 18th of March, right? And which makes him eligible to fly to Canada. And once the border opens in Canada and in India, and that flights are available to travel. So his maternal uncle lives in Canada, so he made a visit to the college, and he was told that the college is closed till 31st of December. And the student is a little stressed out, like how things would work out, because he got a deferral from May to September. So if you can just speak up few points, because he can hear you, so he'll be able to get a little relieved.
Okay, so the travel portion, none of us have any control. That's between the governments and everything. So you might want to travel, I want to travel, we all want to travel, but we can't. Even if there's flights out of Delhi, they cannot come to Vancouver. So there's issues. But let's say you get, like, I know there's 2 Air India flights this month, but let's say you manage to catch a flight. You can come in anytime into Canada. That's not an issue. You come into Canada, you do your quarantine for 14 days. Whether you arrive this month or August, when you start the classes in September, it'll still be online. So whether you are in India or you're in Canada in your uncle's house, the classes will still be in online. And you do your classes, January comes, the campus, let's say we can open by January, the government says, okay, you come into the college and you start, everything is normal. But let's say you cannot fly, we don't get flights before August, or very limited flights, and you're not able to get a seat, you're still stuck in India. There's no issue, you can start your classes online from India. And students are doing it. I've got students who started in this semester, in May to July. They're doing it from India. I keep checking on them about connectivity or internet. There's no problems, they're doing it. And we kind of give them a lot of support too. So what we do is, for those classes, we try to have early morning. We have got our instructors starting a little early now. So they start at about 8 or 8:30 our time, which is around 9 or 9:30 time in India. So you will start your classes around 9, 9:30. You're done by about 11 or midnight. And the other classes will start in the evening, maybe 6 p.m. or 7 p.m., where it's about 7 in the morning. So the classes, it's around 7 p.m. and they'll start from in India around 7:30 or 8 in the morning. So we're trying to accommodate that so that you're not, because right now we have students in China and Vietnam who are sitting at home, but their classes are at 2 a.m. in the morning, 3 a.m. in the morning. But they're sitting at home, they're doing the courses, so that's not a problem. So we do try to accommodate you. So if you think you are able to fly and come into Canada, please do so. I mean, we want you guys here, but right now we cannot open up the campus to have students in. That's as per the government, it's not our choice. So if you can come into Canada till whenever you're able to, you can come in and do the online classes or stay in India. It's going to be cheaper in India, sitting at home. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. And Harry, I hope you got your answer. And this is a final call to the students and the staff members who are present. If in case you have any question, we'll be here for a couple of more minutes. You can put across your query in chat, or you can unmute and ask your question. Okay. So I can see a student, Simran, again with a question. So she was the first one who spoke to you. Simran, go ahead.
Yes, sir. So I want to know that can I postpone my offer letter to January session?
Yeah, if you want to. I mean, we can't stop you from deferring your semester. You can definitely do that. But it is a good idea to start the classes if you want to. Like you could do 3 courses if you wanted to from September to December. That way, by the time you come into Canada, now instead of 20, you're remaining with 17 courses, and you have a flow, a feel of. Look at this Zoom thing here. A lot of classes are conducted on Zoom, or they could be on Canvas, or they could be on Teams, but the concept is roughly the same. As I'm speaking, that's how the instructor will be speaking. The students are listening. They give their lectures. Universities are doing the same thing. So there's not much difference. And there's interaction, there's office hours for the instructor, there's the writing learning center, the library resources are available. So the option at the end of the day is still yours. But if you have the opportunity, why delay something when you can do something right now? If you do 3 courses, 17 remaining, by the time you come to Canada, you start in January 2021, by summer of 2022, you're done. Instead of studying fresh at that time, and then you go until December 2022.
That's actually very true. Like starting off September, and okay, having as a student, I can think of not getting a chance to going to Canada in September, but it is always I agree with you that it will save a time for me rather than extending it again and again to next intake, because the government is supportive. Government is saying 50% done in India will still help you with the post-study work permit. Yes. It's like you said that Punjabis are having the actual agenda as so
no, which is good, which nothing wrong with them. It's for the future, right? Which is okay.
Yeah.
But you're sitting at home, you're going to save money now for that 4 months. There's no rent, no food costs, no worrying about going to work or working so many hours trying to save money. Now you're sitting at home, you're kind of ahead of the game.
Yeah, true. Very true. So because I'm getting few more messages in the group chat privately. So as a student, like I have that mindset that I want to go to Canada and start my education directly over there, and also to get an opportunity as in a part-time job, like that's where the earning comes from. I hope you're getting the mindset of the Indian student. So what would you like to say here that once let's say they reach in September, right? What kind of opportunities would they be having as in a part-time job, or what kind of openings would be there? Would college be able to provide any? I think that would also be a good help to understand.
Right now we don't, because they really, especially a student from Punjab, they do not need my help for anything. Never. Everybody, almost 100% has a relative, a friend, or somebody in Canada already. Sometimes they know more about Canada than I do, and I've been living here for a very long time too. And I've got students that I met in Punjab last year, and who before arriving in Canada, they already knew where they were going to work. So they have a brother or a cousin or somebody who works at an A&W or a 7-Eleven. They go, I'm going to get a job there. Right now with the pandemic, I have no idea what to say about jobs, but prior to this, getting a job was very easy here. Our unemployment rate is very, very low. There's lots of businesses, there's lots of Indian businesses, Punjabi businesses, whether it's a restaurant or a store, a gas station, a 7-Eleven, a hotel. Getting a job wasn't a problem at all. I've got students who are doing 2, 3, 4 jobs if they wanted to when they can work full time. I always tell them the one thing though, just remember, you kind of saved a lot of money, or your parents borrowed this money to come here to study. That should be your number one focus. You're spending $5,000, $6,000 a semester. Take advantage of that money, study, and then work on the side. Don't flip it. That I get students coming to me, sir, your courses are during the day. They kind of interfere with my job. I go, oh, I'm sorry. You came to Canada on a work permit? And I go, look at the paper. What does it say? I go, it says study permit. I go, you're spending so much money. When they focus on the study and they do the job, they succeed very well. A lot of students, what they do is for the first 1 or 2 or 3 semesters, very excited about making $10, $12, $15, $20 an hour. It's a lot of money, but they start working, they don't focus on school. Now they fail 1 class, they fail 2 classes. They made $5,000 or $6,000 or $7,000 in the semester, in the 4 months. but they lost $3,000 to $4,000 failing the courses. It doesn't jive at all. I go, grab the 2-year opportunity, finish the school, work. I came to Canada as an international student too, but my focus was education. I worked on the side. So finish your education, and then you got all the time in the world to work as many 100 hours a week if you want to. You can catch up very quickly. So a job is important. It's very easy to find. We have lots of retail stores. Everybody's always hiring because the mall that's across the street from our Burnaby campus, Metrotown Shopping Center, it's a very big shopping center. They open at about, I think it's 10 or 11, and they open till 8 or 9 every day, 7 days a week, I think. So they need lots of people working. Most people like to work 35 to 40 hours a week. That's it. So, and a retail store needs 2 or 3 people at a time. So you can imagine each store has 10, 12 employees. So it's very easy to get a part-time job, 10 hours here, 10 hours there, 20 hours here. It's very easy. So the job portion is not a problem. It's just that they shouldn't lose their focus a little bit. And in the July and August semester, in between the semesters, they can work full-time. They can work 40 hours a week. Yeah.
Right. Perfect. That's pretty, sort of helpful. I'm sure the people who are in the call can understand. It is helpful for our staff members as well. Yeah. And I think that's it from our end, sir.
Okay, perfect.
It's a big support from your end to join in the session. And
thank you.
And help us out with the queries. I did get quite a few messages, and I put it across as a query to you.
Okay.
I wish it was not raining that bad. It's raining from a couple of days, and today morning also it was raining quite heavy. So that's probably one of the reasons, because I also got disconnected twice. So I connected from my phone, then I connected from my laptop again. Right.
Yeah.
All right,
happens.
Sir.
But I guess it helps, right? Because isn't it supposed to be pretty hot right now?
Oh yes, it is helpful.
Yeah.
It is supposed to be pretty hot, and but like, I don't know how true it is, but the much I hear is that the COVID-19 would go down if it is hot.
That's what I hear too.
but it is getting cold, so it's a mixed feeling for us because we were expecting by June and July it will be gone, because it's gonna be pretty humid and hot over here.
Yeah.
Right. Rest assured, thank you so much, sir. And the from the standpoint of admissions and sales, we have got quite a few queries sorted.
Pyramid, Visa for a better life.